Hi, I'm the J-Man, here with today's movie reviews. The first review is Identity Thief with Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy. The review is Jason Bateman, Horrible Bosses, and Melissa McCarthy, Bridesmaids, lead an all-star cast in this hilarious blockbuster hit. Unlimited funds have allowed Diana McCarthy to live it up on the outskirts of Orlando. There's only one glitch. She's financing her shopping sprees with an ID stolen from Sandy Patterson Bateman, an accounts rep who lives halfway across the US. With only 1 week to hunt down the con artist before his world implodes, the real Sandy Patterson is forced to extreme measures to clear his name. From the director of Horrible Bosses and the producer of Ted, critics are calling Identity Thief smart, funny, and surprisingly touching. Rafa Guzman, Newsday. Here's the disc, and this is Identity Thief. The next one is 21 and Over. The next one is 21 and Over with Miles Teller, Justin Schon, and Skylar Astin. From the writers of The Hangover comes our reckless and raunchy comedy 21 years in the making. On the day before a critical interview, straight-A college student Jeff Chang gets a surprise visit from his two best buds to celebrate his 21st birthday. In no mood to party, Jeff finally agrees to a single drink, which quickly leads to an over-the-top, out-of-control night filled with epic beer pong, smoking hot co-eds, and one angry buffalo. Can Jeff's friends get their plastered pal cleaned up in time for his morning appointment? It's worth a shot. Here's the disc for 21 and Over. The next review is Movie 43, which has got nearly everyone in Hollywood. The review is, everything you've heard about this movie is true. Unspeakable, unforgivable, unbelievable, unsafe, unreal, and just plain wrong. Cover your eyes, block your ears. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Some extremely warped minds have gathered together the most astonishing A-list cast in cinematic history, and then made them expose themselves like never before. See Hugh Jackman really stick his neck out for this role. Witness Naomi Watts playing a real mutt-up. Experience Halle Berry's unique way of making guacamole. Look down on Gerard Butler's evil leprechaun. Feast your eyes on what Emma Stone does with her tongue, and the list of stars and their wrongdoings could go on and on. So sit back and prepare to be shocked to the core, slapped in the face, and tickled in the funny bone, and titillated to the max. That's movie 43. Here's the disc. The next one is The Guilt Trip with Seth Rogen and Barbra Streisand. Get ready for one mother of a road trip. Andy Brewster is about to embark on the road trip of a lifetime, and who better to accompany him than his overbearing mother Joyce? After deciding to start his adventure with a quick visit at Mom's, Andy's guilted into bringing her along for the ride. Across 3,000 miles of ever-changing landscape, he is constantly aggravated by her antics, but over time he comes to realize that their lives have more in common than he originally thought. His mother's advice might end up being exactly what he needs. The reviews say Barbra Streisand and Seth Rogen are a must-see movie duo, says Gerard Hall, the7seas.com. A perfect comedy for the holidays, says Shani Edwards, she knows.com. Here's the disc for The Guilt Trip. The next one is Parental Guidance with Bette Midler, Billy Crystal, Tom Everett Scott, Marissa Tomei. Here come the grandparents, there go the rules. Old school grandfather Artie, Billy Crystal, who is accustomed to calling the shots, meets his match when he and his eager-to-please wife, Diane, Bette Midler, agreed to babysit their three grandkids when their Type A helicopter parents, Marissa Tomei, Tom Everett Scott, go away for work. But when 21st century problems collide with Artie and Diane's old school methods of tough rules, lots of love, and old-fashioned games, it's learning to bend and not holding your ground that binds a family together. That's Parental Guidance. Is the disc. Yes. My first Gerard Butler movie is Chasing Mavericks with Gerard Butler. And this one is called Chasing Mavericks with, it's a surfing movie. The review is, legends start somewhere. The inspirational true story of real-life surfing phenom Jay Moriarty, when 15-year-old Jay discovers that the mythic Maverick surf break, one of the biggest waves on Earth, is not only real but exists just miles from his Santa Cruz home. He enlists the help of local legend Frosty Hansen to train him to survive it. As Jay and Frosty embark on their quest to accomplish the impossible, they form a unique friendship that transforms both their lives, and their quest to tame Mavericks becomes about far more than surfing. That's Chasing Mavericks with Gerard Butler. Here's the disc. My next Gerard Butler movie is Playing for Keeps with Gerard Butler, Jessica Biel, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Uma Thurman, Dennis Quaid. The review is, Gerard Butler, Jessica Biel, Uma Thurman, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Dennis Quaid star in Playing for Keeps, a romantic comedy about a charming down-on-his-luck former soccer star, Butler, who returns home to put his life back together. Looking for a way to rebuild his relationship with his son, he gets roped into coaching the boys' soccer team. In the process, he realizes that he still loves his ex-wife, Bill, and will do anything to get his family back. The review says, Playing for Keeps is a romantic comedy that really delivers. Adam Presmore, Yahoo Movies. Here's the disc for Playing for Keeps. And my last Gerard Butler movie is his newie, Olympus Has Fallen, with Deli McDermott, Aaron Eckhart, Morgan Freeman. The review is, when the White House Secret Service code Olympus is captured by a terrorist mastermind and the president is kidnapped, disgraced former presidential guard Mike Banning finds himself trapped within the building as our national security team scrambles to respond. They are forced to rely on Bannon's inside knowledge to help retake the White House, save the president, and avert an even bigger crisis. Antoine Fuqua, Training Day, directs an all-star cast featuring Gerard Butler, Morgan Freeman, Angela Bassett, Melissa Leo, Ashley Judd, and Rick Yun. That's Olympus Has Fallen. Here's the disc. My first Jason Statham movie is Parker with Jason Statham and Jennifer Lopez. The review is Parker Jason Statham is a professional thief who lives by a personal code of ethics. Don't steal from people who can't afford it, and don't hurt people who don't deserve it. But on his latest heist, his crew double-crosses him, steals his stash, and leaves him for dead. Determined to make sure they regret it, Parker tracks them to Palm Beach, playground of the rich and famous, where the crew is planning their biggest heist ever. Donning the disguise of a rich Texan, Parker takes on an unlikely partner, Leslie, Jennifer Lopez, a savvy insider who's short on cash but big on looks, smarts, and ambition. Together they devise a plan to hijack the score, take everyone down, and get away clean. Payback has a new name. That's Parker with Jason Statham. Is the disc. My new Jason Statham movie is called Hummingbird or Redemption. The review is homeless and on the run from a military court-martial, a damaged ex-forces officer navigating London's criminal underworld seizes an opportunity to assume another man's identity, transforming into an avenging angel in the process. Here's the disc. And that's Hummingbird or Redemption. My first Paul Rudd movie is This Is 40 with Paul Rudd, Leslie Mann, Jason Segel, Melissa McCarthy. The review is from the director of Knocked Up and The 40-Year-Old Virgin comes an unfiltered comedic look inside the life of an American family. After years of marriage, Pete, Paul Rudd, and Debbie, Leslie Mann, are approaching a milestone meltdown. As they try to balance romance, careers, parents, and children in their own hilarious ways, they must also figure out how to enjoy the rest of their lives. Featuring Melissa McCarthy, Jason Segel, Megan Fox, John Lithgow, and Albert Brooks, This Is 40 is a candid and heartwarming comedy about the challenges and rewards of marriage and parenthood in the modern age. High-spirited and hilarious. Here's the disc for This Is 40. My next Paul Rudd movie is Admission with Paul Rudd and Tina Fey from 30 Rock. The review is Tina Fey and Paul Rudd star in this hilarious and heartwarming comedy about the unexpected detours we encounter on the road to happiness. Year in and year out, Princeton admissions officer Portia Nathan Fey has lived her life by the book, but during her annual recruiting trip, she finds herself reconnecting with a former college classmate, free-spirited teacher John Pressman Rudd. As she bends the entrance rules for one of his very unconventional students. Portia puts at risk the future she thought she always wanted and finds her way to a surprising and exhilarating life she never dreamed of having. From director Paul Waits, in good company, and co-starring Michael Sheen and Lily Tomlin, it's the feel-good movie critics call funny and fresh. Glenn Kenny, Amazon Movies. Filled with heartfelt laughs, a real gem. Janet Winswelsman, fonline.com. Here's the disc for admission. This is called The Incredible Burt Wonderstone with Steve Carell. This is called The Incredible Burt Wonderstone with Steve Carell, Steve Buscemi, Jim Carrey, Olivia Wilde, and the late James Gandolfini. Rest in peace. The review is abracadastic. Superstar magicians Burt Wonderstone, Steve Carell, and Anton Marvelton, Steve Buscemi, have ruled the Las Vegas Strip for years, raking in millions with illusions as big as Burt's growing ego. But lately, the duo's greatest deception is their public friendship, while secretly they've grown to loathe each other. Facing cutthroat competition from guerrilla street magician Steve Gray, Jim Carrey, whose cult following surges with each outrageous stunt, even their show is starting to look stale. But there's still a chance Burt and Anton can save the act, both on stage and off. If only Burt can get back in touch what made him love magic in the first place. That's The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Here's the disc. My second last movie is my James Franco collection. My first James Franco movie is Oz, the Great and Powerful, with James Franco, Mila Kunis, Rachel Weisz, Michelle Williams, Zach Braff, Joey King as the China Girl. The review is Oscar digs a small-time circus magician with dubious ethics. It is sealed away from dusty Kansas to the vibrant land of Oz. At first he thinks he's hit the jackpot. Fame and fortune are his for the taking. That all changes, however, when he meets three witches, Theodora, Evandora, and Glinda, who are not convinced he's the great wizard everyone's been expecting. Reluctantly drawn into the epic problems facing the land of Oz and its inhabitants, Oscar must find out who is good and who is evil before it's too late. That's Oz the Great and Powerful. Here's the disc. My last movie is the new Selena Gomez, James Franco movie called Spring Breakers. A little sun can bring out your dark side. Britt, Candy, Cotty, and Faith have been best friends since grade school. They live together in a boring college dorm and are hungry for adventure. All they have to do is save enough money for spring break to get their shot at having some real fun. Our serendipitous encounter with rapper Alien promises to provide the girls with all the thrill and excitement they could hope for. With the encouragement of their new friend, it soon becomes unclear how far the girls are willing to go to experience a spring break they will never forget. This is the disc. That's all my movies for today. I'm the J-Man. Peace!